Barcelona, Manchester City, Atalanta also in action. All of them tonight at different time. We'll talk about all of these games. In fact, some of the games will start by 6:45. I will talk about all of those as well. Then we're going to go through the Super Falcons team. Rasheedat Ajibade is injured. She's out. But hey, yet again, after being snubbed by CAF for the Women Footballer of the Year nomination, she's also been, she's not been invited by the handlers of the Super Falcons. I'm talking about the most decorated female footballer to ever come out of the continent of Africa. I'm talking about Aïssatou Souala herself. Wow. She's not in the list for the Super Falcons game against France later this month. Welcome once again to the show, guys. It's another Tuesday. It's a good time to talk sport on radio. 𝐴𝐾 your club is going to be, on the spotlight also on the show today. Agbatomi, because your club will be on the spotlight because you have a Champions League night tonight against Stade Brest. Well, depending on how you call the name of that club, but it's not going to be the biggest of the games tonight. But there's also a saying that when Yamal is out, Barcelona struggles. They've not won a game since he's been out injured. I will talk about how important the 17-year-old had come on to become for Barcelona. Agbatomi, your club will also be in action tomorrow. It's a big game. The defending champions of the FA Champions, the 15 titles, they are the most successful football, or let me say sporting franchise in the history of mankind in Real Madrid. There will be an action against your cup tonight. So there's so much to talk about. Let's get straight up into the conversation with you. Barcelona tonight against our club Brest. What are we expecting tonight? Yet again, no Lamine Yamal. He struggled over the weekend. The red card and the slip up again by one of the best defenders I've seen play football in Europe this season. Both of them led to Barcelona dropping 2 valuable points and reducing the gap between themselves and the defending champion Real Madrid to 4 points. I'll be with an outstanding game to play. What are we expecting tonight against Brest?
Well, it's going to be a very tough one, or dicey one, you might call it. Brest currently they are sitting 4th on the log in the Champions League table, and just a point separating Brest and
certainly
FC
the surprise team of the Champions League season.
On the 6th log, and when you are sitting on the 6th log and you are playing someone above you, all that matters is trying to just make it count, because it's just few more games before the end of this this session, and once the session is done, now you're looking towards playing the qualifiers or get an automatic qualification. And when you get to play the playoffs, that means you have to play extra games. And when you play extra games, that means additional stress to your congested table. Barcelona have not been of great form of late. They played both games away, which has both games that's both at the Real Sociedad and as well as Celta Vigo. Both teams have actually been a boogie team for Barcelona away going to in recent seasons, and last game, which was on Sunday, was not an exception, and we saw what concentration could do to even the best of players. Koundé lost concentration and it eventually affected. Exactly. I don't believe that Barcelona won't take anything for granted. Also putting in mind that's how Manchester City lost 5 games on the bounce. So you have to know that things like this start creeping in. That hope is not as if maybe the mojo is ending, maybe the honeymoon period is over. Because some fans already believe maybe the honeymoon period is over. So they need to be a response, and a decisive one for that matter.
Well, you mentioned Manchester City. They still hold the second longest unbeaten run in the Champions League, currently held by Barcelona, 38 games. I mean, you look at the times of Antoine Griezmann, Lionel Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Ousmane Dembele for that amazing Barcelona side of those days. But hey, let's quickly play some beats. I would come back. I will take you through some of the games to expect tonight in the Champions League. Arsenal away at Sporting, but of course without Ruben Amorim. Instead of his first game at Manchester United, with a 1-1 draw away at Ipswich Town. There's also Atletico Madrid on action tonight against Sparta Prague away from home. Diego Simeone boys, they've been some amazing run as well. Atalanta with our own Demola Lookman will be traveling to Young Boys. Young Boys have been the whipping boys of the particular group this season. We'll talk about all of that when we come back after this break. Stick with us.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Get ready for the ultimate Christmas program on the airwaves of your favorite dial, Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. The nativity of Christ will be foretold in music and singing by some of the best voices in the city of Lagos metropolis. It is a special edition of Time Out with the Masters, your favorite entertaining program bringing the festivities to your homes in a grand style. For sponsorship and advert placement, please send a mail to info@mainlandfm.com or call Rioja on 0803 739-8724.
Time Out with the Masters Christmas Carol Concert, where music lives.
Every 6 shares I hold, I get one more.
What are you doing?
I am counting the numbers I get from over 5 billion shares. FBN Holdings is giving existing shareholders the chance to buy more shares at 25 naira each. This means that you can get one new one for every 6 you own. Don't miss out. Own a share of tomorrow with FBN Holdings rights issue. The offer opens from the 4th November to 12th December 2024. Visit your stockbroker or any First Bank branch to get started. You can also access the offer directly on your First mobile banking app. FBN Holdings. Own your share of tomorrow.
Hey there! Yes, you! You just won 5,000 naira cash! And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to watch the Premier League waiting for you! You behind! Of course! You're not left out! How does 1,000 naira airtime and 2,000 naira Uber discount sound? All this could come true when you buy the No Unwrap and Win pack. Open it, look for a cube with a 6-digit code on its wrapper, text the code to 8011 and follow the prompts to stand a chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win pack. No, eat for good.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? Eh? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody saying thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
For every 6 shares I hold, I get one more.
What are you doing?
I am counting the numbers I get from over 5 billion shares. FBN Holdings is giving existing shareholders the chance to buy more shares at 25 naira each. This means that you can get one new one for every 6 you own. Don't miss out. Own a share of tomorrow with FBN Holdings rights issue. The offer opens from the 4th November to 12th December 2024. Visit your stockbroker or any First Bank branch to get started. You can also access the offer directly on your First mobile banking app. FBN Holdings. Own your share of tomorrow.
Hey there! Yes, you! You just won 5,000 naira cash! And you, sitting by the side, there's 1 month Showmax subscription to watch the Premier League waiting for you! You behind! Of course! You're not left out! How does 1,000 naira airtime and 2,000 naira Uber discount sound? All this could come true when you buy the No Unwrap and Win pack. Open it, look for a cube with a 6-digit code on its wrapper, text the code to 8011 and follow the prompts to stand a chance to win any of these instant prizes. Promo valid from July till December. Terms and conditions apply. Get extra value on the No Unwrap and Win pack. No, eat for good.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? Eh? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luther, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luther. Malaria's in big trouble.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
As you can see, oh yes, yeah, very, very honest. Mufakale from Miami, Mufakale from Babami, Miami, Miami, Maserati for Yahoo, Ferrari, Versace, Ferragamo, Bugatti, Polo, Butori, Buffalo, Viadenuga, Mufefe, Sosa, Mufasi, Pepe, all of them for me, Atiti, baby now. I have seen with my eyes. Say my people, it is a beautiful story. Na na na. See, I fought through defeat. Now I am living a better life, and I'm thankful for the life that I am living. Na na. Easy baby, okay, okay. Shabaluwa, shebo. Oh oh, walewa. Shabaluwa, shebo. Lagos today, and London tomorrow. Shabaluwa, shebo. Oh my God, Shabaluwa, shebo. Easy baby, okay. Shabaluwa, shebo. Oh oh, walewa. Shabaluwa, shebo. Lagos today, and London tomorrow. Shabaluwa, shebo. Oh my God, Shabaluwa, shebo. I'm balling for two. Let nobody do me better in truth. See, I'm balling for two. Let nobody do me better in truth. With the bad musician, that's the bad producer. You already know, we on every show. Ladies and gentlemen, each time I tell people that Ojuelegba remains my Wizkid's greatest single of all times, and of course I know that Jᴏɪṛ also ranks up there, and he had in collaboration one of the greatest Afrobeat artists the world had ever witnessed, the legendary Femi Kuti on that one. Amazing video, young energetic Wizkid, and that is Jᴏɪṛ. Welcome back to Sports Cruise Live on Mainland 98.3 FM. I will set up the conversation a bit, but while we're off, we're talking about this Mohamed Salah conversation, and we'll come talk about it, especially as the manager of Liverpool and Slot had insisted that the forward is not distracted after all of the contract comments that Mohamed Salah. Remember, over the weekend, he approached the press for an interview, and he talked about the fact that he's disappointed that Liverpool are not speaking to him right now, that it's closer to being out of Liverpool than being in Liverpool. And this is a striker that are constantly giving Liverpool all of the numbers you can imagine in the last 5 seasons. By the way, significant week for him to have granted that interview. They play Real Madrid in the Champions League tomorrow. They play Manchester City on Sunday in the Premier League. And at the moment, they are leading Manchester City with a massive 12 points. That's something a lot of people are feeling that 11. I mean, interesting, by the way.
Yeah, they win now. But if no one yet,
at the moment it's 8 points.
It's still 8 points now.
That's what I said. The win could take them to 11.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. And I mean, I was looking at one of the sport predictors that saying that Liverpool has a 64.3% chance of winning the Premier League. But of course, the man that is driving them really super forward, talking about Mohamed Salah, is not getting all of the attention he feels. You need a lot of people texted on yesterday and said, "Oh, Salah is just a sport brat. Salah is just being, putting himself above even, I can tell things at the same as well." We'll focus on that when we come about. Let me quickly run you through some of the games that we're expecting to have in the UEFA Champions League tonight. There is a Slovan Bratislava versus Milan by 6:45. AC Milan, by the way. Sparta Prague tonight against Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid by 6:45. And the biggest game for tonight is going to be Bayern at the Allianz Arena against the PSG, the team that lost the finals to Chelsea in Chelsea's second ever UEFA Champions League victory. Remember that 1-0 victory, goal scored by Kai Havertz, by the way. So at the Allianz Arena tonight by 9 p.m., there's going to be Bayern hosting PSG. And Sporting Lisbon, their first European night without their manager Ruben Amorim. They will be playing against Arsenal also tonight by 9 p.m. Those are the games to expect in the Champions League. Also, there is Barcelona at home against Brest, the French team. They've been the surprise team of the Champions League so far this season, and they will be squaring themselves up against former champions Barcelona. Manchester City, 5 games without a win. The last time out in the Champions League was a 4-1 loss to the team that Arsenal will be facing tonight, Sporting Lisbon. Then I think that was Ruben Amorim's last European game as the manager of Sporting. They lost by 4-1. I think Phil Foden scored first. And then Sporting Lisbon just changed out for Man City. 1-2-3 for an ended. And they'll be playing against Feyenoord tonight at the Etihad Stadium. The last time out at the Etihad Stadium was a 4-0 defeat to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, I was reading something about Vicario, Tottenham Hotspur's goalkeeper, that he said he played about 60 minutes of that game with a broken
ankle. He had a collision I think in the first half with Savigno in the first half,
and he played the
remaining 60 minutes thereabouts, and
he still kept a clean sheet. He was actually voted as the goalkeeper of the week and man of the match in that game as well. So there's also Inter against RB Leipzig. There's Young Boys against Atalanta. And there's Bayer Leverkusen against Salzburg. A lot of Nigerians will be in action tonight with Salzburg, with Atalanta, with Feyenoord as well. Unfortunately, for Victor Boniface is out till 2025 without unfortunate injury, so he's not going to be in action tonight for Xabi Alonso's boys. But guys, let's get back into this Liverpool conversation, and I'm taking this story because of the significance of what Slot said. It is not going to be a story we're going to dwell on. Like, you guys almost burnt my studio down yesterday. And Slot had refused to give an update on Liverpool's negotiation with Mohamed Salah out of contract in the summer, but said the Forwards were more in than out of his lineups ahead of the crunch week, with games against Madrid in the Champions League and against Manchester City in the Premier League. Pep Guardiola feels that if they lose to Liverpool, they should consider the league done and dusted. 11 points is going to be really tough to catch up on that one. And it's not even Man City catching up to Liverpool. If Man City loses this weekend and Arsenal wins that game, Arsenal or Chelsea will go second and third, and Manchester City could end the weekend in 5th. It's going to be crazy, right? Yes, especially if other teams like Brighton also win their game. Manchester City could drop as low as 5th position. Well, Mohamed Salah is not distracted despite publicly saying he was not happy about the Liverpool's contract situation, insists and Slot. Salah's future dominated Liverpool's pre-Real Madrid news conference after the Forwards said it was probably more out than in after scoring twice in the Premier League leaders' Sunday comeback win over Southampton. Liverpool boss Slot refused to comment on the progress of the negotiation with the star player who is out of contract in the summer and says he's not yet been offered a new deal. Let's quote Slot directly, and he says, the only thing I can say is when I look at my lineups, Mohamed is more in than out, as against what Salah said that he's more out than in. I like that, by the way. And he said that is the quote I can give you. He added, he's not distracted at all. I haven't seen him after the Man U game when he made the comment. I didn't see anything today. He's fully focused on the game tomorrow. That's against Real Madrid. Let me get straight up to you, Agbatomi, real quick. Let's just, touch these stories before we go into the Super Falcons story. How significant is Salah's concentration to whatever Liverpool intend to achieve this season? Even if this becomes his last season, Liverpool are on a good run in the Champions League, in the Premier League as well, leading at the moment with 8 points ahead of Manchester City. That is some massive numbers, by the way. But how significant is Salah's happiness in whatever Liverpool could go on to achieve this season?
Well, first of all, I think one thing people forget to understand is that Salah still has an existing contract with Liverpool that will be expiring in the summer. And what that means is that obviously, as a professional, is expected to perform to his very, very best. Just as he still has a contract. And even apart from that, Okwemi, I really don't believe the contract issue should be a form of distraction, not just to Salah, but as well as other players, just like the manager and Slot as well also mentioned. And I mean, I saw the pictures of the training, I saw videos as well. They had a live training. They had a live training coverage of the training today, and I saw his body language. I saw the way he was talking to other players. In fact, as a matter of fact, I saw him one of the captains as well of the side talking about Andy Robertson being up close to each other and just laughing and then talking about this whole things, which even the manager also talked about it. And I also believe as well that Arne Slot has also gave a hint that something might be happening very, very soon, because he also talked about the fact that, I mean, is the club's mouthpiece at the moment, and if you really don't hear anything from Arne Slot, then you really should not be believing anything, even whatever another player says. But I'll also give you a slight quote as to what Arne Slot said, which I feel is a hint of what might be happening anytime soon. He said that even when Mohamed Salah signs a contract, that these players won't be able to meddle in issues like this. So that means in no distant time, I just feel it's just a matter of time that a contract will be signed and agreed.
Real quick, is this Liverpool calling the bluff of Mohamed Salah for a player that had given them everything? I mean, it's time that Chelsea wasn't as good as he wanted. It's time that Roma was a template to how great it can become. He came over to Liverpool and is giving them everything you can expect from a player. Club and country, you cannot question Mohamed Salah's commitment. One of the greatest African players of all time. A lot of people have also said he sits in the GOAT category for Liverpool, because if you look at the legend of Liverpool, Jamie Carragher, Xabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, none of them won the Premier League with Liverpool, but Mohamed Salah did that. He won the Champions League as well. I know your stand on this old, contract saga or this old distraction, but is this Liverpool calling the bluff of Salah, or is Liverpool saying, you know what, hey, irrespective of who you are, we're not going to change or bend our rules?
I mean, it depends on all that matters most is figures. All that is delaying this whole talk is figures. If both can agree on a figure, would Salah agree to reduce his figures? Absolutely not. Will Liverpool be ready to increase the figures, let's say 30 to 40%? Obviously, they will not want to do that for a 32, 33-year-old that they know that they can always lose in the perhaps maybe in January for AFCON.
He can start negotiating with another club outside of England from January.
Yes,
if his contract is not renewed.
The problem is never about just signing. Like I told you, it's all about what do the club want. What direction is the club going to?
What happens to the player in this context?
If you ask Mohamed Salah still wants to be in Liverpool because I believe that he's trying to cement his greatness. In as much as he's seen as a great currently in Liverpool, but he wants to cement his greatness in terms of trying to increase his records and his achievement, whereby it would be very difficult for another player to walk into that team and surpass that. You could see that is aiming is behind Ian Rush in the goals log. He has surpassed Robbie Fowler, if I'm not mistaken. So you could tell that he is.
Mohamed Salah is the 8th all-time goal scorer in the English Premier League. 8th all-time goal scorer.
But like I said, we see what happened with Mane when they delayed the contract extension as well for Mane, and eventually Mane left at the end of the final against Real Madrid, where he said he won't talk about his decision until the final. Would that happen if Liverpool crash early in the Champions League? Would that prompt a Mohamed Salah's exit? If they don't win the league, would that prompt his exit as well? See, I could tell one of the reasons why perhaps Salah might be reluctant in negotiating a new deal was maybe because of coming into this season. I don't believe that Liverpool expected themselves to be where they are at the moment. Perhaps maybe they felt like, you know what, we can't just throw away this kind of money when we are trying to rebuild the team, we are trying to rebuild the squad, because a new manager is coming in with fresh ideas, fresh everything. Would the manager want to keep, or would they want to keep the investment with Salah? And now with where they are and how Salah is performing, Salah has the advantage in the negotiation power. However, like I said earlier in my opening statement, I still believe it is all about figures. Who is ready to relinquish the most figures? Would Salah agree for a cut in his salary, or would Liverpool decide to increase the figures for him? So it's all about the figures.
Okay, let's leave Liverpool, Salah, slots, and whatever it is that are negotiating.
But he definitely can't get a 3. He can't get more than he's getting.
But it's tough.
He's currently earning 350 or so.
£350,000
350.
per week.
So he can't. You can't expect Liverpool.
These guys are boxed up.
Okay, by the time you remove tax and everything, you know, say,
and it's still the same person that will compete with injuries.
Give me the £50,000.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. It's a very valid argument.
Events in the last few months are kind of, make me start thinking that, you know what, why not? A lot is being played. These guys are risking their lives.
Because, for example, if Salah, why do you think players are always reluctant to make a big money move when they are already 27, 28? Because they know that's the only time they can get the big money move. And they're always very careful in games that they play. No player wants to be injured. And if you look at Salah's record, Salah has not been the hospital type of player like Ousmane Dembele, whereby. So you know that that you can rely on him. You know that he's reliable. When he's fit, you know that he has plenty of things he can do. However, would the team or the club itself would the club be willing to actually adjust their philosophy and actually, because when you look at like I made mention of Milner yesterday, when Milner decided to stay on, and even when Lallana decided to stay on, despite their age, they decided a cut. Would Salah be willing to take the cut? Is left to be
Let's
seen.
see how it goes, guys.
Perhaps he could sign a big money contract, and it's just going to be a 2-year with an option of extension,
but
just 1 year extension. But I don't expect them to give him more money and give him a 4-5 years contract.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool knows that if they don't sort this Salah issue as quick as possible by January, Salah can start negotiating with Saudi Arabia, and you know what that means. That is going to be some massive market-breaking transfer.
It's going to be very Saudi. Salah plays. Salah can still play. If he goes to Saudi Arabia, he can't be playing with with the whole content creators and co. You can't play with them in the Camels League and
if he plays in the Major League Soccer, he's going to be playing for the next 10 years.
Of course,
MLS. Of course. However, if he plays with
this guy, better than the MLS.
However, no, he
has changed his career.
When he was in the MLS, he was a part-time player and a full-time golfer, and he still won the MLS.
Even when he was in the supposed allegedly the greatest club on planet Earth, he said after Wales, then Madrid.
That was when things started to fall apart. Agbatomi can tell you how devastating JᴏɪR was in the final. 3.
How many
Champions League does your club, your entire club? How many Champions League do you have?
There are 5.
We are going to talk about.
Now you want us to leave this goal?
I want us to be having this banter.
Now you don't want us to have the banter.
You decide what banter.
You cannot be decided.
Another big game tonight. Big in the context of the other factors in the game. That is Arsenal away at Sporting. Arguably one of the greatest strikers in the league, in Europe right now, which is Victor Gyökeres. Is going to be in action tonight. And a lot of people have said, you know what? Arsenal needs that missing puzzle. Yeah. The puzzle that Manchester City decided to click when they signed in Haaland from Borussia Dortmund, and they went on to win the Champions League. Yeah. The Arsenal have done well. 4 points adrift of Man City the season before the last. 2 points adrift of Man City the last season. You can look at the loss against Aston Villa on the eve of the game against Bayern. You can also look at the Christmas rush loss at West Ham and Fulham as games that cost Arsenal their Premier League ambition last season. This time around, they are 9 points adrift of Liverpool. And as it stands now,
they are 3 points behind Sporting.
3 points behind Sporting in the Champions League.
Behind Liverpool.
Exactly. But they have the opportunity to firsthand see a striker that a lot of people have felt they should buy. I saw a news on Goal.com Africa this afternoon that Chelsea could go in for £100 million move for Victor Gyokeres, and they could loan him out to Sporting to the end of the season, and he could join them in at the end of this season.
It's just pure disrespect.
I understand, but the truth is this: Gyokeres is probably going to be leaving Sporting at the end of this season. His numbers for both Sporting and Sweden are crazy. Look at the number of goals he scored already in the UEFA Nations League. Look at the number of goals he scored in the Champions League. He's the highest goal scorer in the Champions League this season so far with 5 goals. How significant is Arsenal's out performance tonight? Arteta had come out to run a clarion call on his boys to, you know what, take the stage, be ruthless against Sporting, but more than whatever performance is, a lot will be at stake tonight, Akintayo.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. You know, when Arsenal going into that game, coming to realization that Manchester City have lost in that game and they were beaten silly. Now, when you're playing a team with a new manager, he has barely had 2 or 3 games under his belt as the new manager of Sporting. So that means that you really can't tell what they are going to be up to. So now you have to rely on your own team, not on what the opponent wants to do for you. And the return of Odegaard has just been a new signing. It appears that they just signed Odegaard and he clicked. You could see that it was very obvious in the game against Nottingham Forest. It's just that missing puzzle. It's just that missing puzzle, and you can tell the reason why they've not been in that top form when you have Trossard playing in that same position as well. But having Odegaard back, I believe that has been a blessing, and I believe that would be a very vital advantage for Arsenal. However, when you are playing in Portugal, you never can tell, because guess what? This same Sporting Lisbon have actually defeated Arsenal, knocking them out in the Europa League, if I'm not mistaken, under the same Arteta and under Amorim. So
that was where their season capitulated, where Saliba got injured. And by the way, Sporting won their last game, I think by 6 goals, even without Ruben Amorim.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so it is a familiar foe and it is a familiar territory. Now, would Arsenal be able to live up to the billing? Because trust me, Arsenal needs this, because they are currently sitting outside the top, outside automatic qualification. And trust me, Arsenal do not want extra games. They don't want that extra. By January, they'll be playing the FA Cup. FA Cup is coming in, and FA Cup coming in, you're also going to when you get to play the playoff. That as well adds to more minutes. That adds to more minutes, and you might
don't
actually
even know who you are going to be playing.
Exactly.
How far you would have to travel.
And trust me, Arteta do not want to be out of the Champions League as early as this, because if he does, there'll be a mountain of pressure mounting on him that's going to make fans actually turn against him if he does not win at least a Carabao
trophy
Cup
this season.
Tommy,
there is Manchester City tonight against Feyenoord, against a team you would expect them to ordinarily beat, all things being equal. But they've had games against Bournemouth that they've lost, against Brighton that they've lost, against Sporting that they've lost, against Tottenham Hotspur twice, one in the Carabao Cup and one in the Premier League, and they've lost both games. How vital. I watched Pep Guardiola's interview, and he was talking about the fact that give me all of my players back, give me my wing back, give me my this, give me my that. How key is the game tonight, especially maintaining that unbeaten home run in the Champions League?
Well, it's very, very important that Manchester City have to return back to winning.
That of the Premier League got broken this weekend.
It got broken.
Since 2022, they've not lost at the Etihad
against Tottenham, and against a Rotherham side that you expect them to defeat. I mean, they just have to.
Feyenoord ordinarily shouldn't be a problem, right?
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Now,
but it could be a problem.
The issue is this: if they lose to Feyenoord tonight, then I think that they will now need to start doubting themselves and their abilities. And
because they play Liverpool this weekend.
They play Liverpool this weekend, and they just have to win this game today so as to help them, with their confidence. And if this game, goes against them tonight, then I really, really wonder what Pep Guardiola has to do, to get Manchester City back in their mojo, because it just looks like at the moment they're running out of steam. So the game tonight against Feyenoord is very, very important, and they must win this game.
Akintayo, the Bayern PSG game, it seems to be going under the radar for a couple of people because but it's a big game. It's a game that ordinarily could be fit for a final because of the form of Bayern. Hurricane, oh my
repeat
word,
the 2020 final, by the way.
Devastating form. I'm talking about Hurricane. But guys, the game tonight at the Allianz Arena, are we expecting any surprise, PSG?
Well, PSG, Lucho, that is the manager of PSG, he needs to fix something because they are currently sitting 25th on the log in the Champions League.
How do you say that?
They are sitting 25th. Bayern are sitting 17th in the qualification.
This Champions League format is humbling the big boys.
So I believe they would want to, because even though it's just 2 points between both of them, I believe that they need, even if it's just a draw, at least they've had disastrous outings so far this season. They lost against Arsenal, they lost against Atletico Madrid. I think they lost one. They narrowly won against Girona. They've not really had the best of season so far.
Was a mistake from Girona's goalkeeper?
Yes. So you could tell that they are currently in crisis at the moment. In Europe, and they need something. They need whatever. They need their players to come into action. They need the sᴘᴏʀᴛs of this world. They need the Dembélés of this world. They need Donnarumma to be on top of his game, because Hurricane is definitely going to show no mercy. It's going to be an interesting one. We saw them lose against Arsenal in a very silly fashion. You say if you give Bayern that chance, they could end up conceding 5 or 6. That is how porous their defense have been. So you could just say that the reason why it's not given that name as it would be normally is because of
where both teams are. If it were to be the old format, I mean, this game could be a huge decider.
I don't believe it's to be the old format. But what I'm saying is, based on when you look at the quality of players, or when you look at the quality, when you look at the profile of players that are currently occupying the PSG seat, how many top players can you actually find? Perhaps if there to be,
the era where we had Neymar, Mbappe, Messi, Sergio Ramos,
it would have been a poster match for the Champions League this evening. That could have been the game that people want to see. But because of in recent games, and even PSG have not really been living up to the expectations.
As well as recent form.
Yes, exactly. So I think that's one of the major reasons why it has been below the radar. But it's going to be a fascinating one. I really can't call this match, but because it's going to be a Bayern home game, perhaps, and due to Hurricane's form, I'm just going to give it to Bayern.
Well, just like you heard my guy said, there is Bayern at the most unusual place you can ever imagine. They are currently 17th with just 6 points. There's Atletico Madrid in 23rd with 6 points. There's PSG in 25th with 4 points. It's crazy, right? It is very crazy. So at the top of that, there's Liverpool, 12 points, 4 wins, no draw, no loss,
record.
10 goals scored, only 1 goal conceded. And there is Arsenal's opponent tonight, Sporting, Lisbon, 3 wins, 1 draw, unbeaten so far in the Champions League this season, 9 goals scored, 2 goals conceded. They've got 10 points. There's also Monaco. The same numbers with Sporting, 3 wins, 1 draw, 0 loss, 10 goals scored, 4 goals conceded. There's also Brest, the team that plays Barcelona tonight, the surprise team of the Champions League this season, with 10 points as well. There's also Inter with 10 points. There's Barcelona with 9 in 6th position. There's Borussia Dortmund in 9th. In 7th position with 9 points. There's Aston Villa, 9 points. There's Atalanta tonight. They will be playing also against Young Boys away from home. They've got 8 points. There's Manchester City, Juventus, Arsenal, and Bayer Leverkusen, Lille, Celtic, and Dynamo Zagreb. All of the teams from 10th position to 16th position, all of them have 7 points. That's how quick things can change in that place.
Reminds me of the Italian Serie A this
exactly.
season.
From Manchester City in 10th to Dynamo Zagreb in 16th. All of them have 7 points. Just goals separating them. And then after Dynamo Zagreb in 17th is Bayern with 6 points.
Well.
And guess where Real Madrid are? 18th position with 6 points. There's also Benfica with 6. AC Milan, they play that game tonight by 6:45. Also have 6 points. In 20th position is Feyenoord. Manchester City's opponent tonight with also 6 points. In 21st position is Club Brugge. there is Atletico Madrid in 23rd with 6 points, PSG 25th with 4 points. I mean, that's crazy. And the surprise team of the Spanish La Liga last season, Girona, they have only 3 points, just 1 win, 3 losses, 0 draw, and they stay 29th position. Guys, let's talk about the Super Falcons right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a game to play against France.
Hello, my name is Jᴏɪṛ Oᴘᴇɪ. I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.